Hello everyone. This tutorial will learn about the Apache Hive architecture and the basics of Apache Hive. Actually, used Apache Hive through this particular tutorial to learn big data analysis for Apache Hive. How to implement big data analysis and what's the use of Hive, how Hive can be used for which particular when not to use Hive, what's the architecture, all this. First, we'll introduce ourselves with the Hive. What is Hive? We'll be teaching you Hive with few key points. Actually, the first point is that it built on the top of Hadoop. So actually, in 2006, when Facebook and all, and actually basically Facebook changed its traditional SQL database to Hadoop, correct? Because Hadoop provides this processing. So a large chunk of big data can be easily executed over n number of nodes provided by a Hadoop cluster. So since 2006, when a SQL database is transformed to Hadoop, now Facebook was searching for a particular tool, particular interface which can execute the MapReduce task on top of Hadoop and which looks like SQL. Yes, that time Hive was created by Facebook. 2006 it was created so that it can help you out in execution of SQL-like queries on top of MapReduce and Hadoop. So for that, one specific query language is created which is highly influenced by SQL. The name of the language is HiveQL, or generally we use HQL. It is like SQL, but it is optimized. You can say it is customized for Hadoop MapReduce architecture. Yes, this Hive query language is finally converted to the MapReduce. So basically, after while running the HQL, it is runs in terms of the map and reduce task because internally by the HQL Hive server it is converted to a MapReduce task only. That's why even a small and tiny Hive query language HQL query can take up to the minutes of time because it is converted to MapReduce. So definitely it's an abstraction over the MapReduce. Abstraction means hiding something. So basically we don't want to write down the complex code on MapReduce. So and we want to get the benefit of query language like this. Both the both the things like you don't need to learn Java kind of programming languages and write down lots of code which can by the Java programmers for doing a particular job in MapReduce. But the same thing can be achieved easily by SQL-like simple programming language by Hive by the Facebook, and which can be provide an abstraction for the MapReduce. You need to write down complex Java. So it can provide the data definition language and data manipulation language. SQL provides what data and data manipulation language. Now it also has the user defined function. Can definitely provides user defined function like in P we have user defined. I have the user defined functions. Okay, so the question is, when do you need Apache Hive? Why do you need Apache Hive? It's a big question. Now, when we have MapReduce and P, then why do you need Hive? There are lots of reasons to have Hive actually. Most important thing you can say that you can write down a big job in terms of the SQL kind of programming language. That's why we need Hive, and Hive is very much optimized for doing that. Yes. Now we'll go through with the appropriate points which provides you the advantage of Hive. First of all, it's that we need a low level interface of Hadoop perfectly. Hive is a very simple interface for. Then it supports the external table concept. It is something known as the external tables in Hive. Yes. So what's the advantage of external tables? You don't need to load the data to the HDFS. So even without putting the data into the HDFS, you can execute Hive queries. The big advantage. We have the optimizer, we optimize the rule-based optimization for the logical plans. Another advantage, that's the need, that's what we should do. Hive, and it supports the partitioning of data at the level of tables to improve the performance. That's another advantage of it. and we have the metadata store. This is known as the meta store. So it's a big plus. It makes the lookup of the architecture easy, and the ad hoc queries is easy because you need some ad hoc means because you need something like a particular network, suppose, and two of you or three or more than in number of students actually, of you got together and created a Bluetooth communication among you. That becomes an ad hoc network because when you are going out of the classroom, maybe you are destroying that network. So that becomes the example of ad hoc network. Ad hoc query means whenever some requirement has come, immediately you write down a query and execute that. You got the result back. Now no need to store the query, no need to the query, no need to the architecture or the particular schema to it and gone out of there. So that kind of flexibility we can get by using Hive. That's an advantage of Hive. So now we'll go through the features of Hive. What are the features Hive provides? First of all, Hive is fast and scalable. It's scalable because it works on top of the Hadoop. Yes, and it's fast because definitely it can process petabytes and and more than that zettabytes of data in a completely lesser time because it operates on top of the Hadoop. Now another advantage, another feature of Hive is that it provides HQL, Hive query language. Hive query language are SQL-like query making. It will automatically transform the MapReduce job or Spark jobs at the backend. You'll write down SQL-like queries in Hive by using HQL programming language that will be automatically converted to the MapReduce Spark jobs. Now, large data sets can be analyzed by Hive. Hive is actually used by the data analysis and data analytics who are very good in SQL. They know quite goodly. They're expert in SQL kind of queries. They execute that and they can analyze large data sets with the SDF. Now we have different. Hive has the capacity to storage the data in a different way and process like text, RC file, HBase data set. Also, we can store the Hive data and Hive is not a database program. It's not a database. It's a query language, not a database. So the data can be stored in plain text, in RC file, and it can be executed by Hive query. Finally, it uses the indexing to accelerate queries. That's the benefit of using Hive. It can operate on complex data stores into the Hadoop ecosystem. It can operate on compressed data stored in the Hadoop ecosystem. So all the tools which works on top of the Hadoop as a part of its ecosystem cannot deal with the Hive can do. Now it has the user defined functions capacity by its own functionality. This particular access with also for Pig also it can have the user. We learned about the history of Hive. I don't but much, but just a single point you should that Hadoop was designed by Facebook for querying from the petabytes of data. It's very important. So when it is more than petabytes, then only Hive will become more advantageous for you. Because there was sudden data explosion as Facebook, and to store the data into RDBMS and store the data by using SQL was taking lots of time. It's not possible. So at that time, only Facebook determined that let's from the RDBMS to Hadoop. When they shifted from the RDBMS to Hadoop, now they cannot execute SQL. They have provided a SQL interface on top of the Hadoop, which will be converted to MapReduce job. That is what Apache Hive is. So Hive made users' job extremely easy, very stored on HDFS by using SQL-like interface, as I told. Now Hive now become parallel DBMS, which uses Hadoop for its storage and execution. So there are for each and every tool, for each and every system in Hadoop, we learned for a time. We cannot use each and every scenario and context. Where should Hadoop and Hive used? Hive can be it is when we have the static data and it is designed actually for data warehouses. So data warehouse is a fancy and technical term. Data warehouse means a collection of data. Suppose Flipkart is doing a business in India for e-commerce. So the Flipkart can have their database server in Kolkata, in Mumbai, Chennai, or in Hyderabad. They have in different places we have their servers. When they will analyze the total sales, they need to combine all the databases, right? Combine the total databases from all of the cities, and 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 combine the data based on certain things, based on the requirement of the sales. They're selling that they don't require the suppose the last name of the or the username of the users who have purchased the product, right? Because they are just focusing on sales. Sales specific data only they want to gather from all their servers, different cities. When they'll gather the data in that term, that will be known as data warehouse. Data warehouse generally holds historical data, last 5 years of data, last 3 years of data, last 10 years to analyze, and it's static data. When you analyze that kind of data, it's very much suitable if you use Hive, because that data warehouse data will be into petabytes. It's large data actually, static data. You can go through and structured data also, and Hive is very much designed for the structured data. Hive cannot operate properly on terms of the on top of the unstructured data or semi-structured data. Structured data which can be dealt with the SQL, it is very fast and very good, and we don't require fast response time. If the data set is especially in and smaller, then the first response time, if you require, then you can. If the data is not changing rapidly, or real time data, or the data which is changing rapidly, the Hive is not a suitable interface to be used for big data, not a good ecosystem to be used on top of Hadoop. And it is abstraction to MapReduce programs. I was telling from the beginning that the MapReduce codes are very difficult to write in Java or any other. Hive codes are very right. So it's and Hive codes will be transformed and executed on top of MapReduce. Very much a nice abstraction on top of the MapReduce. Hive, of course, is a good choice for queries that lend themselves to being testiness, particularly long running queries where fault tolerance is. So Hive, of course, is a good choice for queries that lend themselves to being expressed in SQL. Is very good term actually. Each and everything, each and everything cannot be lent to be used on tops of SQL for sure. Are you clear? Each and every applications cannot be expressed using SQL. It's not possible. Those applications, those queries which can be expressed to SQL, that is SQL, actually the actual pronunciation is SQL. Generally we use SQL structure. So particularly long running queries where fault tolerance is desirable, here we require Hive query language for what they are. Long running queries, big queries for big data sets where fault tolerance is desirable. Means if a part of the query, suppose the query will be distributed different nodes, right? And Hadoop nodes generally provides fault tolerance. You know why? Because of replication factor. To require fault tolerance for long running queries, then and the query is like possible to be converted to the SQL like things. SQL like query, Hive is best. So if a particular query can be expressed in terms of the SQL and for the big data executed on top of Hadoop, go for Hive. Then Hive can be a good choice if you like to write feature-rich, fault-tolerant batch transformation. Batch means which is non. I mean, it's not real-time execution. Batch processing or ETL jobs. Extract, transform, load jobs. Kind of data processing. First extract the data set, then transform the data set, then load the data set. Yes, a pluggable SQL engine if you do. Then Hive will be the best. There are some time when you should not supposed to use where those you read the response in seconds. For small data sets also, Hadoop, Hive cannot give you response back in seconds. It will take time. The job will be converted to MapReduce at the top of the Hadoop to back the response. So it will get some time for you. You have to give that time. You don't want to impose a schema. Sometimes you don't want to impose a schema. Like in Peak, we can do without imposing a schema, right? For those cases, you don't need what? Hive. For Hive, have to impose a schema. In traditional DBMS already can do. If the if suppose a data set is there, the data set can be stored into a traditional RDBMS like Oracle, MySQL, DB2. So if you can store over there na, in a particular data set, if you can store into RDBMS, right? And you can then you can just execute SQL on top of that and get the job done. You no need to require what? You no need to require Hive at all for that and Hadoop for that. If the data set is so large that it cannot suited to be provided to the traditional DBMS, Hadoop, and the queries can be like this. Well, only Hadoop Hive will be perfect choice for you. And if your data is smaller, that is or less than that, if the data set, don't go for Hadoop, don't go for Hive, go for the general DBMS, go for the SQL. You don't have enough time and highly skilled resources. That's the big part actually. You should have enough time to develop, and highly skilled resources also you require for executing Hive on top of the Hadoop. To set up Hadoop, it will take time. Provide a particular job which has been assigned onto the HDFS. It will take time for writing the Hive queries, and it is for that. Now we'll go through with a particular case study of NASA. NASA uses Hive. You know why? It's a story actually I have tried to put in a single slide in a very comprehensive. We're not going to learn in detail about a case study focused on learning Hive only. Produced with Hive. So how NASA uses Hive? Actually, NASA was using MySQL database. So they had some problem. Actually, they are doing it because NASA has a very rich research center, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, a worldwide known research laboratory. So they generate lots of data. Just the data they load into MySQL database. How many tuples were there? 6 tuples were. What is the form of the tuple? It has latitude, longitude, time, value, height. 6 billion tuples. So when they tried to understood how big the table is, so when they tried to put into the MySQL the system tab, they tried to have a solution on MySQL. How try to divide the whole table into smaller subsets. But the system again generated huge overhead while processing the. It's not working. Basically, they wanted a scalable solution which can deal with this scale, which has the scale with the data, large data, which can store and process this huge amount of data can be executed. I mean, using the MySQL works for the MySQL database storage. How you deal with data by using SQL programming language, structured query language. They want to deal with the SQL-like querying capability, but they want to store the data not in MySQL to some other solution, which can be scalable for the large data set, hold 6 billion tuples. The choose then they Hadoop for that to store the data instead of MySQL. Now they are storing the data to Hadoop. Now when they are storing the data to Hadoop, they also need some interface which can works like the SQL, right? They choose Apache Hive and HQL to overcome the problem of MySQL and SQL. MySQL as a database management system programming language. Now shifted to Hadoop as the and HDFS at the database management system, that is database storage system, and HQL or Hive query language programming language query language. So how to solve that? So NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory team put Apache Hive as part to their strategy. So as Apache Hive runs on top of Hadoop, scalable and can process data distributed and parallel fashion. So for that they have used Hive query language similar to SQL. Now we'll go through with the comparison of Hive with what is the comparison, how Hive and So Hive and Pig can compare because these two things have lots of difference. Hive is a commodity. Sorry, Hive is commonly used with the by data analysts, but Pig is a programming language can be used by the programmers. Hive is like query language which deals with the SQL-like queries. The data flow language. Data flow language. Hive can only deal with the structured data properly, but Pig suitable for semi-structured data. Definitely for the structured data also. Also not suitable for highly unstructured. Hive can work on the server side. Hive works on the server side of a HDFS cluster. The client just put the job over there, runs over the server side only. But Pig works on the client side of a cluster. Hive is too slower than Pig. It is faster than. So go through with the Hive architecture. About the Hive architecture. Go through with this architecture. Go through with this diagram parts here. One is the client, servers, there is services, and then it's converted to MapReduce. What is that? The Hive clients has three parts. It is script server, which is cross language, but it supports C++, Java, Python. So from that programming language, so you can write down the code that will be converted. Or we can have JDBC. JDBC full form is Java Database Connectivity. So it has a particular driver for Hive. By using that Hive driver, you can connect the JDBC and execute Hive queries. Or we have the Open Database Driver, ODBC, open source driver, which we used for Hive query language. Go back to the services. For the services, as it server BC and ODBC driver can go to the Hive server, or this Hive services can be provided by LI, that is command prompt, command language, or Hive also provided. Hive also provides what web. By using web interface, also you can submit the job to Hive driver. Hive driver will a store of the meta store. Your entire thing will be metadata actually. The job's details will be stored in the meta. Then the job will be converted to MapReduce, map and reduce task, and it will be top of the. That is the basic and comprehensive architecture of Hive. So now we'll go through with the detailed knowing of the architecture of Hive here. We'll go through with each and every component. First, we'll learn about the Hadoop Hive client here. Hive allows writing application in various languages, Java, Python, and different types of clients like the JDBC driver and ODBC. This server, it's cross-language service provider that serves the request from all those programming languages, Java and Python, all these things. So now JDBC driver we have, it is used to establish a connection Hive and Java application. JDBC, Java driver, right? So it's in the org.apache.hadoop.hive.jdbc Hive drive. Now class we have this driver look. ODBC is for any application which follows the ODBC protocol, Open Database Connectivity Protocol. Now Hive services are Hive CLI, that is the command line interface. Shell actually, it's a command prompt where we can Hive queries, and we have the web user interface WUI of Hive. That's an alternative of the CLI only. That's the graphical user interface which is web based for execute Hive queries, and we have the Hive Metastore. What is Hive Metastore? Repository that stores all the structured information of various tables and partitions into the warehouse, which will be used for SQL querying. Also include the metadata of column and its type information, the serializers and deserializers which is used and write data, and the corresponding files where the data is stored. Then we have the architecture of Hive. Hive services, we're learning the architecture of Hive, right? So Hive services go through the other components. We have Hive server. The Hive server is referred to as the Apache Thrift server only. Get the requests from the different clients and provides this to the Hive. Now we have the Hive driver. Hive driver receives the queries from different sources like Web UI, CLI, Thrift, transfers the queries to the compiler. The job of the Hive driver. Hive compiler will do the compilation process to make a Hive query language statement into MapReduce. Hive execution engine will optimize generated the generate the logical plan in the form of the direct acyclic graph. Acyclic graph means it job, yes, and is directed from which stage to which five different lines of code you have written for Hive. There should, after compilation, you will get a KG directed acyclic graph. Based on that, the compilation will go through from one step. So this is the basics of Hive and its architecture and requirement and why should someone learn Hive, what is the case study of Hive, all the examples, not to use Hive, when to use Hive, history of Hive, the features of Hive, requirement of Hive, and the basics of the current programming language or a new concept. You basics have tried to provide all the basics. So we'll go through with the HQL and its components of the HQL in the. So if you have any doubt, you can put in the comments. Provide this description. Thank you.